Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is June 1st of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to arrest Donald J. Trump and or impeach Donald J. Trump for crimes related to Jeffrey Epstein, the Epstein files, and or sexual crimes against underage females on the date of Wednesday, June 3rd of 2026, specifically to assassinate the 47th president while in custody and or trigger a second American Civil War. Once in custody, Donald J. Trump will likely be murdered in some form or fashion, likely in an ancient, esoteric, and ritualistic Jewish blood sacrifice that will likely be executed under the guise of a self-inflicted suicide, a medical-related emergency, under the guise of natural causes, or possibly in the aftermath of a physical altercation with law enforcement. There's also the possibility that he will be assassinated in jail by a rogue assassin similar to Jeffrey Epstein in order to keep his mouth shut, or at least that's the angle that will likely be played. So exactly how the CIA plans to remove Donald J. Trump from power in respect to, I should say, Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein file scandal is obviously not known. But I just want to state for the record that the Biden administration had 4 years to prosecute Donald J. Trump for crimes related to Epstein, and they failed to do so, which suggests that from a legal de facto manner, that they actually have nothing on Donald J. Trump, or they would have prosecuted him to the full extent of the law, which is why I just want to state again for the record that if Donald J. Trump is arrested for crimes related to the Epstein files, he will never ever see the inside of a courtroom, because then he will hire the best attorneys possible, and the evidence against him will be displayed for public consumption, especially through the legal process of discovery. So come Wednesday, June 3rd, it appears that the CIA plans to execute a three-pronged approach to remove Donald J. Trump from power. The first is to stage an ICC, Interpol, NATO, or Unipol-based indictment and or arrest raid targeting Donald J. Trump for crimes related to the Epstein files. The second option is a DOJ-issued multi-count indictment as pretext for an FBI arrest raid targeting Donald J. Trump. And the third option is a U.S. House and or U.S. Senate-based impeachment of Donald J. Trump, which would be the third such impeachment of the sitting president. But because I have published numerous reports regarding Donald J. Trump and the Epstein files for months and years almost, it seems like, as I've stated for the record, that the Epstein files scandal will never go away until Donald J. Trump is removed from power, and that date appears to be Wednesday, June 3rd. So how the CIA plans to link Trump ultimately to the Epstein files is not known, obviously. But it appears that the latest angle is that the CIA plans to claim that Donald J. Trump is running a Jeffrey Epstein files related extortion ring. That is to say that Donald J. Trump is extorting large amounts of monies from very rich people who have been named in the Epstein files as pretext for his failure to prosecute them. And the notion of that Donald J. Trump is creating a Epstein file slush fund of potentially billions of dollars was foreshadowed when Donald J. Trump settled with the IRS last week regarding their illegal release of his tax forms and they created a $1.8 billion slush fund of monies that are going to be used to pay off people who have had the government weaponized against them. And this is designed to foreshadow that Donald J. Trump is, in fact, weaponizing the Epstein files against the people that are named in there, and it basically extorting large amounts of monies. So I believe that a international ICC, Interpol, NATO, or Unipol indictment or a DOJ indictment of Donald J. Trump on the date of June 3rd will include offshore bank accounts and other bank accounts which have been created to basically to funnel money in as pretext for failing to prosecute this crimes. And I believe that former Attorney General Pam Bondi, who just received a cancer diagnosis, I believe this cancer diagnosis is a veiled threat that she play along with this narrative to frame the president. So, in the last, in this administration, starting January 20th of 2025, Donald J. Trump has basically initiated multiple construction projects, namely the White House Ballroom, the Victory Arch, the remodel of the Kennedy Center, as well as tariffs that he has negotiated with various countries, of whom some heads of state have been listed in the Epstein files. So I believe that the angle that the DOJ and international criminal organizations are going to try to attack the president is basically to state that they have discovered through some sort of Doge-like investigation or deep dive into Donald J. Trump's finances, possibly conducted by the IRS or the SEC, is that they have found these actual bank accounts which were used to funnel in funds from various people who made large donations, if you will, to these various construction projects that he has essentially created during his presidency. Coincidentally, as with all CIA assassination plots, terror attacks, and acts of war, they always have the numeric signature of the CIA who authored them. And in this particular case, with the impending arrest of Trump for actions related to the Epstein files, is no different. The date of June 3rd, 2026 marks exactly 28 days since Howard Lutnick, the current Treasury Secretary, testified before the House Oversight Committee that is currently investigating the Epstein files. Obviously, 28 days reflects the numerology of the FBI raid targeting Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, back on August 8th, 8/8 of 2022. This is 2/8/28. Also, it's 4 weeks. The number 4 is reflected on the flag of Switzerland, which is obviously home to the CIA. Secondly, the date of June 3rd marks exactly 109 days since the third and final trove of the Epstein files was released back on February 14th of 2026. The number 109 or 19 equates to letter S, which is in fact an acronym for Switzerland. Thirdly, the date of June 3rd marks exactly 113 days since the first interview by the House Oversight Committee regarding Howard Lutnick, who was handpicked by Trump to be the Treasury Secretary. And this interview, or shall we say, interrogation by the House Committee regarding Howard Lutnick being the current Treasury Secretary is no mistake, because this is designed to foreshadow that Trump was extorting Treasury or monies from people regarding their involvement with the Epstein files. And so essentially what they're trying to do is to make Trump the mastermind of the Epstein ring, and thereby using the evidence against members that have been of heads of state, celebrities, businessmen who have been named, and then they are funneling those funds into offshore bank accounts under obviously uh, suspicious locations, obviously. Um, the date of June 3rd also marks 124 days since the second trove of the Epstein files was released back on January 30th of 2026. The number 124, the 24 equates to letter X, which is known internationally as a symbol of death, because this arrest is specifically designed to kill the Trump presidency. Also, the date of June 3rd marks exactly 166 days since the first trove of the Epstein's files was released back on December 19th of 2025. The number 16 is reflected in the logo of the CIA with the 16-pointed star, and the number 66 or 26 equates to 26, which equates to the letter Z in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for Zionism, which is in fact the political motivation behind this impending arrest or impeachment of a sitting U.S. president. The date of June 3rd also marks 384 days since former FBI Director James Comey released an ominous tweet with the numbers 8647 on a shore. With the 8647 was constructed of seashells on a sandy shore. And this is designed to foreshadow offshore bank accounts where monies were funneled to. So essentially, the CIA can create any number of offshore bank accounts, for example, in the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, etc., and then link them and claim that they are in fact linked to the president. And that's what they in fact plan to do. And of course, the number 384, the number 38 equates to CH as in Confederation Helvetica, which is in fact the Latin acronym for Switzerland. Also, the date of June 3rd marks exactly 499 days since Donald J. Trump became president of the United States back on January 20th of 2025. And the number 49 equates to DI as in die, and this is essentially going to kill the Trump presidency as well as the president, most likely in custody. The morning of June 3rd, well, in the AM, prior to, because I expect this raid to happen probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, on the morning of June 3rd. So the night of June 2nd, I should say, marks 1,394 days since the CIA staged the FBI raid targeting Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, back on August 8th of 2022. Of course, this has a 3.14 pi numerology, which suggests that this is in fact when they will stage a second raid targeting the president. Lastly, the date of June 3rd marks 29,209 days since Donald J. Trump was born in Queens, New York, back on June 14th of 1946. Obviously, this is reflective numerology, 29, because the number 2 doubles as the letter Z, and the number 9 doubles as the letter I, is Z, which is because 26, the letter Z is the 26th letter, which is an acronym for Zionism, so this is basically ZZ. And this is because this is a Israeli Mossad operation, which is specifically designed to neutralize a sitting U.S. president, and so of course they're going to remove him on their own numerology. So anyways, just to recap, Donald J. Trump is going to be indicted, arrested, and or impeached for crimes related to the Epstein files on the date of June 3rd of 2026, most likely for receiving millions and or billions of dollars from an offshore at an offshore account for extortion, for bribery, for abuse of power, for fraud, for money laundering, for racketeering, regarding the Epstein files and the ongoing cover-up of said Epstein files. In the aftermath of this video, it's highly likely that the CIA would reload, possibly arresting Trump for sexual crimes against underage females, or for violation of 18 U.S. Code 4, which is misprision of a felony, knowing that he, in fact, was aware of felonies being committed and failed to inform the proper authorities. But nevertheless, if Donald J. Trump is arrested or impeached or indicted for any crimes related to the Epstein files on the date of June 3rd of 2026, obviously know the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is in fact responsible. So if that happens, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.
And his record